Hi, everybody. This is going to be a quick tutorial to show you how to turn topography lines into some kind of a terrain surface that you can then turn into a physical model. Okay, let's get started. First thing I went ahead and did is selected everything in my file and moved it so that it was closer to the origin. So here's the origin right here. That's really easy to do. All you have to do is select all and then use the move command, select a point, and then type in 0, 0, 0, enter, and it will move it there for you. Okay. That way you're working closer to the origin. This will help us out later. All right. The next thing that we want to do, I'm going to get into top view, zoom extents. Then I'm going to go ahead and make my 8.5 by 11 sheet here. So I'm going to use the rectangle command. I'm going to start, click a point to start that rectangle command. I'm going to type at. I'm going to do 8.5 inches, comma, 11 inches, enter. That is my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Now I'm going to scale that up because we're working in 16th scale and click a point to scale from. And my scale factor is 192. It's already in there for me. But to calculate that, all you have to do, remember, is multiply 16 times 12. How many 16ths of an inch are there in a foot? There's 192 of them. Enter, right click to exit. Now this is what an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper looks like in 16th scale. I'm going to go ahead and move that over to the terrain that I want to build. I'm going to choose something relatively simple. So I can say I want to straddle these two zones, the creek here. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Then once I've chosen, and remember, I can always rotate this too and make it however I want it. So maybe I want it a little bit more like that, right? Um, you can always do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and select, keep the frame selected, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit Shift and drag to select the topography lines within the bounding box. Oop, click that one. Missed some up here. Okay, I think I got all the topography lines within the bounding box. Now I'm just going to go ahead and copy that over with the copy command. I'm going to find a spot to work over here that's out of the way of everything else. Then I'm going to use that frame to trim out all of the unneeded topography. So use my trim command. Oh, I messed something up there. See that? So I'm just gonna undo, go back. Let's redo that. So I have this, and then I'm just gonna shift, drag, try to get it all in one sweep. And then pick up that one, that one, that one, and that one. And then that should be okay. So I'm going to copy that over. Hopefully it works this time. Oh, it's not liking me right now, of course. So I'm going to try that one more time. So I'm going to turn my points off. I'm gonna go ahead and drag. I'm going to try to get it all in one go here. Okay, should be fine. Now let's try this one more time. Hopefully third time's the charm. Shouldn't be so complicated. Okay, it looks like that worked. Now I'm going to use this to trim. Get rid of all this unwanted topography. Make sure you trim all of them. Sometimes they're right on the edge. That looks good. Okay. Right click to exit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move this a little bit closer to the origin, like right there. I'm going to select it and then I'm going to isolate it. And that will get rid of everything, or that will hide everything else. Then I'm going to do a perspective view, zoom, selected, Z, enter, S, enter. And now I can see what my topography looks like. Then I want to define that topography within a bounding box. So I'll use this frame for that, and I'll use my set point command, and I'll copy that along the Z axis. And then I'll define the top and the bottom. I think this is the bottom here. And then I don't need that middle frame anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. So now I have this kind of bounding frame. Now, I'm going to make my topography really simple. But I want you all to spend a little bit more time than I am right now figuring out how you want your terrain to look. And I think for me, I just want to show that it's a little flatter on top, it's steep here in the middle, and then there's a little bit of return. I have the creek down here. But I'm going to keep it um, fairly simple, so I will lose a little bit of the resolution, and that's okay for me for showing this. All right, now I'm going to start adding surfaces. I'm going to go surface from 3 or 4 corner points. So I'm just going to connect, and I'm always I want to start at the corner for this top edge, and I'm going to come all the way out to here because that's kind of where it's turning the corner. So I have my 3 points. I don't want to add a 4th point. So I just right click, and then I'm just going to repeat that command. Um, and I'm only clicking on the end of the line or the frame. So I have end, near, and point. I don't even need my points on right now. So then I'm going to hit that end point. And then I'm just gonna keep working in this way. Remember, I'm simplifying and abstracting the site a little bit. So I'm gonna come all the way down to here. And then for the next one, I'm really gonna simplify this. But it's close. It's close. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this little flat spot down here, but um, maybe for you, maybe I can represent it a little bit. Let's see. From there to here to there, something like that. So you get a little bit in there. And- oh, that was the wrong. I don't want to connect to that point because that was inset. But if I do want to a point that's there, what I can do is select a point on my frame and then raise that point up to the level of that topography line so I can use that set point command again. So something like that. Because you always want to create this surface along the frame, and you'll see why here in a minute. Right, so now I can continue on here, and I want to click that point. Okay, so there's my stream bottom. And now put my final two. Oh, I also want to have this corner up here. So I'm going to make a couple more points there and on here too. And then I'm just going to raise those. So I'm going to do the same thing I did over here. Set point command, apply, bring it up to the height of that topo line, and then do the same thing here. And then again, we're just creating a scaffold for building these surfaces. So now I'm going to build a couple more, something like that. All right. And so I have my simplified topography. Notice I didn't capture all the details, but the general form is there. So now what I want to do is select all of my surfaces that I just created by holding down the shift and click. And I want to command click that frame because I don't want that in my selection set. So that looks pretty good. Notice that it is 8 trimmed surfaces. So 8 is a good number there, not too complicated. And I'm going to join them. Oops. Oops. Select those surfaces again. Got my 8 surfaces. I'm going to join them. Now it says one open poly surface. That's great. Now I'm going to go ahead and create my sides. So I'm just going to select that bottom profile. I want to make a surface, so I'm going to extrude that surface straight up to the top profile. Then I'll select that my terrain surface again and use that to trim the sides away. And I have my model. Right click to exit the trim cycle. Shift click to select the sides. I'm going to join those two together to a single poly surface. And now I have my model. I'm going to go ahead and move that model over to the origin. And then I'm going to delete all this stuff because I don't need that anymore. Click on that, zoom selected. Now I can unroll this thing. So I'm going to unroll it. I don't want to explode it. Hit enter. And notice that it unrolls really close by because it always unrolls at the origin. So now I'm just going to move that out of the way so I can see what I'm doing here. And you can see it's unrolled fairly well. We're going to clean it up a little bit, but it looks like this surface right here is here, and this triangle is here. Okay. This side, this kind of funny shaped side piece is right here. But then all of this stuff. So first I'm going to explode this because we want to manipulate the net. So explode that. Then I'm going to go ahead and move this bit because there's this over, you don't want anything to overlap, right? So we have all this overlap right here. So Then I'm going to rotate this. Um, yeah, I'm gonna rotate this because I want to control where I cut versus where I score. Okay, so let's rotate, keep it all flat, but you can definitely manipulate it. And so I want to bring this over. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this to be in line. And I want to try to fit this thing on an 8.5 by 11. Um, just to keep things consistent, I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. So I have my two top triangles here, and then I have my three sides here. Okay. And then I have my front. That's my front there. And then this little tiny triangle is over here. It's kind of off to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. Oh, I rotated that badly. So I'm going to do that one more time. There we go. And then this is now going to be a relatively straightforward model to build. And one thing that I want to do is um, I'll print this out onto an 11 by 17 sheet. And so let's just set that up. I'm gonna just give myself a bounding box. So I'm gonna say at 11 inches by 17 inches. Then I'm going to go ahead and scale that up by 192. I don't need a copy. And then this thing doesn't fully fit on an 11 by 17. It doesn't look like it will. But I can print it out in two different goes and then tape those two 11 by 17s together to get my template. And then I can tape that onto your piece of chipboard or whatever you're making it out of and start cutting, start scoring and cutting and folding and taping this terrain model together. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. Happy model making.